Right, so as we continue with our Christmas Day fun, we've got some Tait 2000s here which were kindly donated by Eddie. So if I just move the camera across, there are 3 Tait 2000s and a power supply. One of them's got a display. I don't know if we can program that. Looks like I've never seen one before. Normally we would buy 4-channel Taits because we only need 1 channel really. So these are all Mark 1s, so it doesn't say Roman numerals 2. If I move the viewfinder around I might be able to see what I'm showing you. So the later versions, it's in blue and it's a Roman numerals 2, so I've not seen this version. So I don't know if we can program it. It's supposed to be UHF, which is what we want, and that's why he kindly passed them on to me. So, switch the power supply on. Connect it up to power. And it's programmed with a single channel, which is what you'd expect. With most businesses, the government issues 1 channel for every 100 vehicles you have, so it's only really big companies that are going to have more than 1 channel. So let's see whether we can do anything with it. So with the software loaded on my one of the 4 trusty Toshiba 1910s, which has a floppy disk. We'll see whether we can read it. I wasn't expecting that. Let's try that again. Right, we're not getting anywhere with that one. So we'll see if we can get anywhere with this one. Oh, it appears to have done this one. Right, well, excellent. Right, I'll pause the camera. So it's VHF. Sorry, start again. It's UHF up band. So we can see it's already got 459.5 in, 453.025 for the other side of the conversation. It's the same frequencies, so it's single channel, but they've put it in on 2. So what we've got to do is cross our fingers and hope it'll go on to 70 centimetres, which is an awful long way from 459. So I'll just look at what frequencies we want. I'll just jot those down and we'll see whether we can program them in. I've had an even better idea. Our everyday use Tait 2000, I think it was Matt that kindly gave me that one ready programmed. And we actually eyeballed him this year, which was fantastic. I've got an idea. If we read this one back, that's the channels I want. So we'll get out of this if we can. I actually want to get out of this. Right, so let's start again. So we'll go into radio, switch the radio on, and we'll read it. That's the screen I did want. So we've got, what we should have is SU19 433.475, SU20 433.5, SU21 433.525, and then our repeater GB3GR with transmit on 438.45 with CTCSS of 71.9 Hz, and then receive at 430.85. So that's what we've now got in. That's excellent. So I'll turn that radio off, and I'm really surprised that we can program an early version with this software. So hopefully we can save an awful lot of time and just program it the same, and then put it on the bench and tune the set, because they won't work just as is. Might not work at all, but it's going to be worth a try, and that's why we're doing it Christmas Day. Right, so it's plugged in, ready to go, and I want to program it. Just going to go through its times tables. So he's taken the 4 channels into its memory. Doesn't mean that it's going to lock or anything. So what I'll now do is try and take this plug out. And we'll see if we can program this one that seems to have got its knickers in a twist. So we'll just see what happens. So I've got a snag with this particular set. We'll give it one other go. I mean, there's no guarantee these are going to work anyway, is there? No, it's not going to do it. Right, so while we're at it, I'll just see whether we can read this thing with the display. Oh, this looks to be pre-programmed on 4 meters. Of course, I've forgotten what Eddie said. This is fantastic. Let's see if we can read this. Ah, right, so it's a different, we can't do this with this software. Oh, well, that's very useful. We'll have a play with that another day. It's so indistinct, the labels on the back, that it's difficult to notice it's a different version. So that appears to be VHF low band. So the scruffier one of these works, and so what we'll do, we'll go over to the usual setup on the bench, and I'll try and edit these videos together later. Right, so we're on the workshop part of this. So I've opened it up. It's the one with the data socket on the back, which I've not seen before that variant, and I've only got information for the Mark II. So part of this is going to be educated guess, but the rest of it should be spot on. The results will be spot on anyway. So first of all, we're going to transmit, and let's just see what the power is that it's doing. So I'm on the 30 watt scale, and right now it is doing 7 watts. We'll keep it down there for now. Now, next thing I want to do is make sure it's on frequency. So 433.5. Now usually it's a multi-turn preset, but this seems to be in a different type of oscillator arrangement, and I can see that the adjustment appears to be just there. If I can get anything in to fit it. This is the danger, then I start shorting things out. It's like anything with a crystal in, it's going to drop with age. I'll do nicely. And that's interesting because receives now come through. So we'll carry on with transmit. I'll just turn the volume down. So transmit power, now we'll look at deviation. So with the, see where we are at the moment, I'll go back to that meter. Wallow. Oh, I'm on the wrong setting. Wallow. It's actually about where it needs to be. Wallow. About 2.6. What we're on 12.5 spacing. Just pop it down a fraction. To be honest, it would be okay up to 3. Wallow. It's not CB. It's slightly different, isn't it? It needs to be 25%. So 1, 2, it's actually spot on. But if it wasn't spot on, it is the preset just there. So the next thing, that is the CTCSS one. We need to make sure it's somewhere around 0.3 3. So if I can manage to key the mic without generating any noise, we'll turn it to a lower scale. It's a bit low, this. So it should be somewhere around about centre position. I don't seem to be able to bring it up further than that, so we'll see whether that works. At the end of the day, it's only a ham radio set, and you know, the only time it needs CTCSS is to go into my repeater. So whether or not there's something wrong with the preset, whether there's something wrong with the radio, whether I'm barking up the wrong tree, I really don't know, but that should be higher. Hang on, what's that preset there? Is that the one? See, this is the difference from one set to another. That could be digital code squelch if it has that. Wallow. That's now upset the other deviation, so it must be that one. Unless that's CTCSS on these. One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. Wallow. No, it's not. One, two, one, two. One, two. That's back to where we were. And the CTCSS is still about 0.1. I want it to be 0.3 really. Anyway, we'll see whether it works. So that's covered the transmitter. Now what we'll do is we'll bring the radio up to 17 watts. So the power preset is there. And that's exactly 17 watts. 15, 20, we're right between the two. The radio is capable of 30, this 27, something like that. So that's where I want it, 17. Good. I can't see any bulging capacitors. So next thing, let's look at receive. So with it on the cyanide meter, let's turn it down. Turn the squelch down. Now I seem to get a lot of leakage on UHF, so I can't attenuate this anything like where I want it to be. Even if I turn the thing to standby, it's still coming through. But I can still tune these. Turn the squelch down, which is there. Just go for a big S9 signal, or what we would say in CB terms, and we go to the oscilloscope. Make sure that the detector's in the right position, quadrature as they call it, and the answer is yes, it was. I'll just drop the signal again. I can't give you a cyanide reading, I said there's too much leakage, but it seems to be working very well. Right, so I'll pause the video and we'll put this back together. So all the time I've been babbling about this, I haven't had picture in picture on, so now we've finished it, I've put it on, haven't I? Obviously Boxing Day hasn't helped me. Did I say we've moved on to Boxing Day? Because we started this on Christmas Day. We've moved on to Boxing Day in here. And we will just now put this on the air. And to do that, we'll have to go into my living room. These are tap tight screws, and they're absolute swines. We'll look at that low band one which Eddie's passed on to me on another video. So nothing I can do with the programming on those. So I don't know what was wrong with the other one of these sets, but it certainly didn't work for us. But this seems to have programmed up and tuned up a treat. So that's really good news. So with that, we'll disconnect it from this bench and we'll go back to the camcorder and we'll see if we can get somebody on it. 70 cents for a copy, come on. Right, so here we are on the radio desk, and plonked it down. I've put it on our repeater, and let's see whether that rather minuscule CTCSS level will get in. G0 OGF, anyone around for a quick radio report, please? G0 OJF, calling anybody for a quick radio report. I'm just testing a radio, over. Hello there, it's Richard here at sunny Ancaster, just testing a Tait business radio, over. Excellent, that's fantastic then. So thanks very much for that. It's got to be quick, and I'll disappear off, but that's fine. Thanks for getting back to me. Excellent. Well, I'm glad I've had some influence then. Amazing. Right, well thanks very much for that. So I do have to carry on. It may be Boxing Day, but some of us have to work all the time over. Okay, 73 is G0 UHF out. Right, well, that isn't very clear, but I'm going to have to talk to somebody else, aren't I, to find out, because there was no reason with the signal generator, so I didn't quite see where he was, and I'll look that up, but I will have to look further into that. But nevertheless, no, we've got quite a wind here and it's blowing the aerial around, and it repeats as 7 miles away, but we're really in a dip. So as that stands, that isn't as clear as I would have liked, but I've got to verify that it's the radio that needs further adjustment and not just the way things are today. So thanks for watching. That's got it on 77s. We're certainly talking to people, and we'll have I think we've got a great GT868 CB radio to do, and we'll start that later on today. So Tait 2000 kindly donated by Eddie, and we'll look into the other one at a future date. Thanks for watching.